so much for talking to me and taking the time. Because I have to tell you, you were one of the people that saved me during numerous lockdowns, the pandemic, because you helped me digest the craziness and everything.
Yeah, thank you, Lily.
Right?
Do
That's
I
what you
think we're
told me.
doomed? Yeah, I think because of the eco collapse that we're going through, we are in the middle of the sixth mass extinction. I don't hear many people talking about that. It's called the Anthropocene, which means human caused. And nobody talks. I mean, so yeah, I think it's going to get worse. I don't know. I mean, I think this pandemic will be the first of a bunch. I mean, this was the first one in 100 years,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
And I think they might be coming a hell of a lot more frequently. I tell young people, because I do stand-up comedy and most of my audiences are very young, and I say, hey, you guys, I'm sorry, but I timed my life right, whereas you guys will be fleeing things. I don't know if it's going to be fascism or fire or floods, whatever biblical
Absolutely, but I
thing.
wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite bits, which is iconic. It's the "How did you get this shirt so fresh" bit
Oh.
that perfectly sums up the dichotomy of our existence.
Well, that's a bit where
So good.
it came from my experience when I auditioned for commercials,
Yeah.
and I don't do it anymore. I don't audition for commercials anymore because I don't want to be the face of the corporate bastards who were destroying the planet. And Paul Giamatti, for instance, should be embarrassed that he's doing Verizon commercials as Einstein. I don't know who told him that this was. I mean, I guess they give him a lot of money, so I don't know.
And he needs it, maybe.
What?
He needs it, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. He seems to be doing fine to me, but I guess whatever. But God, it's like, how do you take an artist seriously? I mean, I always think it would be so funny to do like, hello, I'm Beethoven for the Franklin hearing aid. The Franklin hearing aid is something that, well, never helped me, but then again, it might help you, Franklin, for when you can't hear.
Yeah.
Did you say cut?
A lot of American artists, though, like actors, they would find like a trick. They would do only commercials in Europe, for instance, like George Clooney for Nespresso. So people in America wouldn't even know.
Yes.
And then in Europe, where he's like, I don't care about this audience, apparently.
Japan, too.
Japan, exactly. John Malkovich did that when he lost a lot of money. George was like, come to Europe, we'll shoot some Nespresso commercial. And then
He lost a lot of money?
Yeah, it was like, I think back in 2000, and when was the last financial crisis when everything blew up and Iceland went bankrupt? That was like, when was 2007 or something?
Did
he lost a lot.
Malkovich have a lot of money in
I
Iceland?
think, yeah. I don't know where,
Excuse
but
me,
like,
I could see Malkovich. Excuse me,
yeah.
what happened?
I think he had something with the Lehman Brothers. What it was that?
Oh, God,
I think
yeah.
he was involved with them. I don't know. So
I always kind of like hearing big celebrities getting ripped off.
you once asked Mark Maron, what is the goal of the entertainer, or like what is like kind of like the part of the entertainer, and I wanted to ask you this question is like, do you see yourself as an entertainer, and what do you think is the
Yeah,
part
I'm
of
an
the
entertainer. Patton Oswalt said, your first job is to make people laugh, and then you can maybe,
Yeah.
And that made me go, oh, yeah, right. I have to make people laugh first. And I started a podcast. I have a podcast now called Apocalypse Soon.
The best name for a podcast.
Yes, a good one.
It's so good.
And the catchphrase is good, too. Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.
Yes.
And I wanted it to be all about, just the deterioration of everything, and it's become super silly.
I feel like everyone right now, like all the comics are
Too
doing
many.
podcasts. Yeah, it's like everyone.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, how does this change kind of like the comedy genre? Because you're producing so much content, like you're doing like your podcast, and you have like Patreon content, then you have like social media, then you have, of course, to go on tour.
It's
and
a pain in the ass,
like,
and it's
isn't
great.
it exhausting?
It's exhausting.
But
Can I
is
afford?
it ultimately, like, is it a good thing to be like in this day and age, and like you can be on YouTube and you can reach like international audiences?
You know
and
why
stuff?
it's a good thing? Because years ago, you had to go through the gatekeepers of the networks and everything, and it's a completely it's a different ball game. Even though the big platforms still, like, you want your special on Netflix, you do want it on a big platform. But it is interesting. Like a guy like Joe Rogan is.
It's crazy.
How does he have 2.7 million?
I have no idea.
Who are these fucking people? I really want to know.
Me too.
And they're all very like, let's just work out and do cold plunges. I remember I attacked Rogan because I was vegan for 9 years.
Oh. I've since snapped. Like it's hard to do, especially when you're traveling. You're in Kansas City. Good luck finding vegan food.
Where cows are being slaughtered 5 feet from you. No, but like, and I remember Rogan said something. I was really kind of very strident vegan at first because I was so pissed about the cruelty to animals. And Rogan posted something about vegans have bone fractures more because, I don't know, they're not getting enough vitamin D or whatever.
Okay.
And I remember, on his thread, and I like Joe Rogan, like, personally.
Yeah.
I don't agree with a lot of the bullshit, the anti-vax stuff. I don't agree. I get a vaccine every day. I know someone in a pharmacy who just slips it to me. Every day I get a shot of the vaccine. I feel terrific.
Yeah.
But, and so I went after Rogan.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yeah? I pointed out that if we're not vegan agriculturally, like methane is one of the biggest global warmers, and it comes from pig farming and cattle. And these people they don't think about that. So I attacked Rogan. I said, your kids aren't going to have any future or something. Oh, and his buddies fucking they went after me.
I know, it's like,
and I was like, I started answering a couple of them, and then I was like, fuck this.
But it's so weird because now, especially like in America, you have like Impossible Meat and Beyond, like all those like artificially made meat. So like, why would you eat real meat?
It's hard. I don't know. I just kind of snap. Maybe I'll go back to it, if I watch some horrible animal videos, but I can't even.
There is this Polish movie that just came out. It's called EO, about this donkey trying to survive. It's heartbreaking.
No, I can't
No,
watch
there's
them.
almost no dialogue. It's just this donkey trying to go from one place to the next to survive, and the people that he meets and what happens to him.
There's something about watching a donkey trying to survive that always brings me down.
I know. But you should watch it.
Like I'm in a hotel room on the road, and I'm watching and I'm lonely on the road, and I'm watching a little donkey on my laptop, and I'm just weeping in a Holiday Inn or a Hampton Inn, something with the word inn in it, but not like a European inn where there's big fireplaces.
Yeah.
It's where there's meth addicts, in the lobby.
Is it true that you started out very late, or like rather late? And what did you do before that, and why did you choose comedy?
I think I got known late. Like I had always been doing comedy, and I kind of jumped around as far as stand-up because I studied acting originally in New York. Yeah. Serious acting. Yeah. But when I would do a serious scene for my acting class, they would laugh. I always made people laugh. I'd be doing Death of a Salesman, and they'd be fucking cracking up, which wasn't the intent, But I used to do plays and I love doing theater.
What would be your perfect apocalypse?
My perfect apocalypse?
Yeah, how do you envision
it would be, my perfect apocalypse would be sort of like the beginning of the pandemic where, okay, we don't talk with like, I hear all these people saying mental illness is very on the rise because we were isolated. I kind of liked being I never a big social person anyway. Yeah. I am, but I'm really not, and I liked, that would be my perfect apocalypse where we still have good miniseries to watch. Somehow during I don't think it's possible during a real apocalypse, but in my perfect apocalypse, we still have, great streaming content, documentaries I love. I would love to just watch documentaries on the apocalypse, but still be surrounded by a comfort bubble.
I love it.
I don't know how long that would last,
I don't know either. Well, that was a perfect interview. Thank you so much, Eddie, for talking to me. And good luck, and I hope to see you in Europe sometime.
I would love that, yeah. Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you.